According to the White House, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskiy is scheduled to fly to Washington on Friday. The visit is related to the planned signing of an economic cooperation agreement with the United States. In exchange for access to the Ukrainian raw materials market, the Americans are to provide Ukraine with financing for arms supplies. These were tough negotiations. On the one hand, the aspirations of the US president to convince his constituents to invest further in Ukraine. On the other hand, Kyiv's maintenance of US military support.
And I understand that's a big deal, very big deal. And I think the American people, even if you look at polling, they're very happy because, Biden was throwing money around like it's cotton candy. And it's a very big deal. It could be $1 trillion deal, it could be whatever, but it's rare earths and other things. And look, we're spending hundreds of billions of dollars on Ukraine and Russia fighting a war that should have never, ever happened. That's a war that would have never happened if I were president.
According to Kyiv, this is the first step. The next is to fix the issue of security guarantees. From the tone of statements by Ukrainian politicians, it is difficult to determine whether such guarantees are a condition for signing the preliminary agreement. There is no agreement yet. That comes next. It would be more difficult, more serious, because the next agreement is about the fund. It will include certain partner relations, money, and so on. This agreement must be ratified in the Ukrainian parliament. Trump has made it clear that the United States will transfer billions of dollars worth of military equipment to Ukraine as part of the deal. As analysts point out, it was Trump who, during his first term, authorized the sale to Ukraine of Javelin anti-tank launchers, which were crucial in the first weeks of fighting in Ukraine following Russia's 2022 invasion. They arrived in Ukraine a couple of years before Russia launched its full-scale invasion of the country, and they were extremely useful in hunting down that famous Russian convoy, or columns of tanks and trucks that were coming from the direction of Belarus. The deal is expected to give the Americans access to the Ukrainian market for the extraction of valuable minerals, which are used to make electronics. No word yet on the scale of such investments, but the sheer fact of possible American entry into the Ukrainian market is important here.
We know that our graphite can be used in high technologies. We're sure about that, because we send our graphite in European and US laboratories. They make their own tests. We know that our graphite is possible to convert to graphene. It's the nanotechnologies, and 1 kilogram of graphene can cost thousands and $100,000.
According to Donald Trump, the Ukrainian president is expected to appear in Washington this Friday.
President Zelenskiy is going to be coming on Friday. That's now confirmed, and we're going to be signing an agreement, which will be a very big agreement. And I want to thank Howard and Scott for the job you guys did in putting it together. Really did an amazing job. And that'll be on rare earth and other things.
This deal could be very important for US-Ukrainian relations before actual negotiations with Russia begin. It would also be important for Donald Trump to secure possible American interests in Ukraine, and thus an offer of solid security guarantees may be on the table in return.